historic milestone. Israel's Holocaust Memorial of Yad Vashem is noting today it has now identified 5 million of the 6 million Jewish victims killed by the Nazis. And now we want to dive in deeper into this, again, historic milestone there. Dr. Alexander Avram, director of the Hall of Names and the central database of Shoah victims' names at Yad Vashem. Thank you so very much, Dr. Avram, for joining us tonight. Well, 5 million names, 5 million lives remembered. These are not mere numbers. What does this moment mean for Yad Vashem, for you, for your team, and for, history itself?
Well, it's a landmark because we didn't know if we will ever get to this number of victims documented and commemorated. Taking into account that there are very few sources about victims, about the Jews who were killed during the Holocaust, especially in the areas of Eastern Europe and former USSR. It took us more than 70 years to get to this achievement. So for us, it is very significant, and it's very important that we have been able to name so many victims and to remember their names, their identities.
So, Dr. Avram, the pages of testimony have been central to this decades-long effort. Why are they so important?
Look, as I said, the Nazis didn't issue death certificates.
Yeah.
We are speaking in Central Europe, many Jews and others also, but mainly Jews that were in concentration camps were registered because they were important for the industrial efforts of the Germany. But outside this area, especially in the areas of Poland, the former USSR, including the Baltic countries, Romania and so on, there was no registration, or if there was partial registration, the Nazis strived very hard towards the end of the war to destroy not only Jewish lives but also all documentation that was.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Dr. Avram, with time, with the lack of better phrasing, time running out to hear survivors firsthand. According to estimations, by 2040, 90% of Holocaust survivors will be long gone. So how is Yad Vashem racing to an extent to preserve their voices? AI is now part of the sacred work, right?
Well, we are trying. First of all, the important thing that is that we have already recorded hundreds of thousands of, more than hundreds of thousands of survivors' testimonies. So these testimonies will remain with us. So we can still work with them and retrieve names from them. And now we are trying to get to teach the learning machines of AI in order to be able to locate, to recognize, and to extract bits of information about Holocaust victims in sources where still there are names that are scattered over millions of pages of documentation.
And also perhaps acknowledge the fact that we might not have 6 million names ever, and yet when you look at the 5 million names already identified, of course the pursuit continues, considering all those still unknown. What do you want the world to remember? What do they want the world to remember?
Well, we want them to remember that these people existed, and they had full lives, as you see in these pictures, before them.
Right.
And it is important to remember each and every one of them because they were murdered without any guilt, only because they were Jewish.
Dr. Alexander Avram, thank you so very much for speaking with us tonight and for your sacred work that you and your team are doing for long, long decades. 5 million names. Thank you very much.